come together today as a community to mourn. This is as it should be. It is not good for people to be alone. When we evolved from the species that came before us, it wasn't just our larger brains that gave us an edge. It wasn't just the tools that our larger brains inspired us to make that did this. It wasn't just the upright stance that allowed us to use those tools easily that improved our ability to survive. Most of all, it was community. It was our love of having other humans around us to help us when we are weak, to be helped when they were weak, to be protected and to protect, to be loved by and to love, to gather together, to reassure ourselves, to know that things will be okay. That is one of the great strengths of our species. It is part of us, not decided on, but written into our bodies, encoded into our DNA. We may need guidance and explanations to live well in communities, but we do not need outside information to know that we must live together as communities. It is who we are. So when we come together as a community to mourn, we are doing something that is precisely a human thing to do. When we mourn as a community, we mourn as fully human beings. Let us join now in our mourning. Gathered here with the gods all around, we have to ask ourselves what they want. The old stories and the rituals handed down in old books say clearly that they want gifts. The question is, what gifts? The gods and goddesses are individuals, so they have differing preferences. Some like libations, some things burnt in fire. What poured out, what burnt, varies as well. So to please them, we will have to learn what each one desires. With all those differing desires, though, there is one thing that they all want: open hands, bringing gifts, not begrudgingly, but willingly, even eagerly, glad to see them. May that be what we offer them today. A gateway is forming through which passes the road of life, which makes its way for our world to that other where the gods dwell. Look, they come. Spirits are coming through the door, through the gate, on the road, dancing, walking, beautifully moving. They come to fill this sacred space. Everywhere you look, there are spirits, everywhere, shining. I face the east, and I pray, the holy ones I praise. To the shining gods and goddesses, praise. To the wise ancestors, praise. To the secretive nature spirits, praise. To the sacred ones, to the holy ones, to the numinous ones, praise, praise, always praise. Welcome, and thank you for coming to celebrate the life of Patrick. My grandmother told me that when my father was a little boy, he used to cry for what appeared to be no reason. She said that sometimes she had to spank him to make him stop. This was not because she didn't love him. She just didn't know what else to do. Many of us struggle with these big feelings like my father did. Patrick struggled. Our struggles often take us to unhealthy choices, and these choices lead us down difficult roads. Patrick traveled some very difficult roads. He did, however, find solace and direction as he came upon the spiritual studies of paganism. He learned so much. He could talk for hours about it. He learned that he could manage his struggling emotions with meditation. This strength of his spiritual practice was his strongest. This is why I am sharing with you from his prayer book today. Hopefully, we know that there is help for those of us who struggle emotionally. Hopefully now we can help our children find their words to express their feelings safely and arm them with tools to manage these big feelings. Grace, thank you for the blessings of life and hope. When it is the right time for me to enter your kingdom, Lord of death, gatherer of souls, may I go gently. May I be a leaf dropping from a tree. May I be a snowflake falling from a cloud. May I be a drop of dew dying in the light of dawn, like opening my hands, like letting go, like one final gift. May it be like that. Patrick, may your soul take a soft-footed journey on a soft-floored path through the old forest to the land of comfort, where the only tears are the drops of rain falling from leaves, the only moaning deep ocean swells, the only sighing light evening breezes. Rest in that land with the peace you have earned. In the shining land, lit and warmed by the sacrificial fires around the sea that teems with life, all the ancestors, wise and loving, wait patiently but expectantly for your arrival. They will greet you, their friend, and among all those who have come to that place, you will live and rest until the time comes for once again taking up a body. You know the pain of life. You have suffered the pain of death, and you know the joy of life, the love and beauty, and even the wondering and awe before the storms you faced. With the farewells of those who you have lived among, under the blessing of the Lord of that land, by the unfailing direction of the guide who brought you there, return among the people of the earth, once again bringing happiness. The sun sets and it's night. The moon sets and it is dark. The frost falls and it is cold. But when you come, there is day and light and warmth. And when we call to you from the greatest depths of our lives, we know that you will come to us from love and friendship. And with this knowledge, we say goodbye to you. Spirits of the air, go on your way to your home, to that blessed realm, leaving blessings behind in the peace between us. Spirits of fire, go on your way to your home, to that blessed realm, leaving blessings behind in the peace between us. Spirits of water, go on your way to your home, to that blessed realm, leaving blessings behind in the peace between us. Spirits of earth, go on your way to your home, to that blessed realm, leaving blessings behind in the peace between us. Patrick was a kind, compassionate, polite, and gentle man. He loved his family so much. And although we are separate from his physical presence, we know that his spirit remains. Please join me in a short meditation, in honor of Patrick. There are many ways to meditate, but for today, meditate, but for today, let's close our eyes and find our breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. This is my in breath. This is my out breath. Breathe in love. Breathe out kindness. Breathe in a memory of Patrick. Breathe out a smile. Blessed be. Thank you. If anyone has a memory that they'd like to share, a short story about Patrick, you're welcome to come up here or just come from where you are and tell us something.
So I'm Nick. I'm Mona's eldest son. And when I was born, Patrick would have been about 12. And we lived very close for the first, let's say, 7 years of my life. And so every day, I had an image of what cool was like. And he was definitely my first friend. And I won't miss him because he's always with me. So every once in a while, my mom and my dad would have to go do something, or I would end up kind of hanging out, and Patrick was put into like the role of being my caregiver. And I always knew what that meant. It either meant that we were going to wrestle, and I was going to give up because he squished me so bad I couldn't necessarily breathe anymore, or he used to always say he was going to make me a special treat. So he would take a burger, and he would put as many hot spices as he could in that burger. And at first, those burgers were like, I'd take a bite, and I'd go, blah, and he would laugh, and it would be a joke, and then he'd make me another burger. But then I grew to loving those burgers. And to this day, I every once in a while, I'll put way too much spice on something, and I think of Patrick. He is a spirit that inspires me to continue, because if Patrick had what went on in his life and was able to continue, I know that I can. And over the past couple of years, whenever I would see him, we would hug. And the last time I saw him, I gave him a hug, and I told him that I loved him, and he told me he loved me, and it wasn't a goodbye, because I have a 5-year-old who looks so much like him, and is a little troublemaker, kind of like Patrick, and likes to poke the bear, just like Patrick. So I am so grateful that I was able to grow up and have him be my first friend, and he'll always be my first friend. So I love you, Patrick.
Thank you, Nick. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to share? I'm thinking of when I was pregnant for Brittany, we had a baby shower, and Patrick was seriously the coolest and the best break dancer. And, you know, we had had baby showers before where we played like, you know, those bingo games or whatever, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. I want to do something different. I want to wow those old ladies that are coming to the baby shower. And so I asked him to do a breakdance exhibition for the baby shower, and it was quite a hit, and he did a great job. But for some reason that just popped in my mind, that it was a good time.
Something that pops in my mind. When Patrick was young and he lived in the trailer next to Nan, you know how him and Eric were always best of friends and did everything together. Was over there one time, and Patrick, I said, okay, Eric, it's time for us to leave, and Patrick didn't want us to leave, so he took my keys and he hid them on me. Right, Bobby? Yeah, he threw them out down the well, and we never did find them, did we? Yes. I always remember that, because it was like, you know, and he just sit there and... Yes, you did. You had to bring a set of keys so I can go home. Yeah, him and Eric used to really
They did. They
have
had
some
fun.
adventures together.
They did, for sure.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything they'd like to share? There are lots of stories. And I actually was thinking, our new president, the night before he took the oath, was at the commemoration. And he said that sometimes it hurts to remember, but remembering is important because that's how we begin to heal. And so as these days come, we need to take the time to think of those little stories and those little moments and remember, because it's important. It's important. And by us remembering, he will live on, and that's important. So, if no one else has anything to say, I'll just say thank you all for coming so much. And thank you for listening to my, what seems to be probably a silly story about my grandmother and my father, but I think about the struggles. So many in our family struggle with anxiety and struggle with these big feelings and emotions that are so hard. And we need to be able to talk about it. We just need to talk about it. We need to not be afraid to talk about it. And it's really important. And I was really proud of Patrick for finding a way to manage some of his feelings. And when he was really at his height with his spiritual practice, he could manage anything. And so talk about your feelings. Just talk about them, because that's who we need to be. So, thank you.